Pradeep, and it is a very exciting day. I hope you all have your seatbelts on. We have a lot to cover today. It's been a long while since we have all talked, and I have been missing this opportunity to speak to all of you. So let's get started. We have a lot to cover. So as you all know, my name is Pradeep. I'm the CEO at Solve.Care, and I want to give you an update on our initiative called Take Back the Internet. Before we get into the update, I want to share with you that I'm very excited about what we are doing, because I fundamentally believe that we need to do exactly this to restore our autonomy, to give our children a chance at living an independent, free life. And I am very concerned, extremely concerned about the way the internet is evolving and the way we are giving control to the Web2 companies, to the tech giants who control every aspect of our life. And I believe that the Web3 community started on the vision of taking back the internet, owning the internet, which is what Web3 means, but it hasn't really delivered on that promise. And along those years that we've all been working in this Web3 space, the control has gotten more fierce. People have lost more of their data, more of their autonomy, more of their identity to the powers. And that is not where we want to go. So I, for one, am truly committed, and so are you, to taking back our lives. And a big part of our life is to take back the internet. And what does that mean? And where are we with that? Now, we were going to do an update at the end of September, but it's too important. So I decided to do an update now because we really have done a lot, and there is a lot of incredibly exciting things here. So I will not tell you everything that you will hear at the end of August, beginning of September, but I will tell you enough because I want you to understand where we are going. First, I truly believe that blockchain is not enough. Blockchain is a great technology. It's a use case for decentralization, but it is not enough. You cannot decentralize the world by just having a distributed ledger, because a ledger, by definition, is resource poor, data poor. A ledger is not a database, and neither is it an application layer. Smart contracts do not rise to the level of delivering true utility and useful use cases to the consumer or to the enterprise. They are inherently resource-constrained, data-constrained ledger. Is blockchain necessary? Absolutely. I believe blockchain is a huge part of decentralization. Same as an engine is part of a car, but you don't sit on the engine. Your butt will get burned. You sit on a chair. You have a steering wheel. You have a gearbox. You have a transmission. And a lot of the blockchain tech out there is like the engine, but not the car. If we truly want to own the internet, and we do, this is not in question, then we have to own the application layer. We have to own the data layer, both on-chain and off-chain data. And we have to own the compute, because if you don't have compute, you have nothing. But all of these need to come together, which means that there are bits and pieces of Web3 being built by many, but nobody's pulled it together. If you really want to own the internet, and we do, then blockchain is not enough. What you need is a complete infrastructure. And we have built that infrastructure. For the last many years, we knew that blockchain will turn into a commodity. Blockchain will turn into a highly exchangeable asset, which you can switch between Solana and Polygon and Polka and so on and so on. Blockchain is not going to be the differentiator. The differentiator will be who can deliver complete ownership of application, who can deliver within the application a well-defined data strategy, and who can then marry that application in a completely decentralized manner to a decentralized compute. So you need decentralized application, you need decentralized data, you need decentralized compute. And if you are missing any one of those pieces, your car will not turn on. You can have a car that looks beautiful and that has an engine, but no transmission, no gearbox, no ignition switch. You're not going to be able to drive it. And that's the truth of most of Web3 tech out there. These are parts and pieces of the car that don't fit together to give you the experience that you need, the utility that you need as a consumer. We do. By definition, we decided not to invest in the blockchain wars. We decided that we can build care chain on whichever blockchain that makes sense. We don't need to build a layer one to build care chain. We don't need to build the node infrastructure to build a care chain. Let the blockchain sector deal with that. But let's do what nobody is doing, which is building the application layer, which is building the data layer, which is building the compliance layer, which is building the ownership layer. And we have all that infrastructure. We built it. We built it for healthcare. But then that raises the question, why just healthcare? And that brings us to where we go from here. Because while we can prove compliance, utility, usability, power of building cards and networks and journeys in healthcare, why are we limited just to healthcare? And that has been a question I've been asking myself for well over a year. We have enormous Web3 capability, but we have limited ourselves to healthcare, which makes it only interesting to a smaller segment of the Web3 space. And that is where we need to change. So 6 months ago, around November, actually it's more than 6 months ago, I gave the team instructions that I want to create distribution channels that go beyond healthcare. I want distribution channels for our technology in government. In addition to healthcare, I want retail. I want to look at finance. I want to look at every area where a true Web3 stack like ours would add value. And we thought it would take a couple of years. It hasn't. It has taken us less than a year to sign massive new channels with government, also within healthcare, but also with retail and with supply chain and with pharmaceutical, which is a little bit tangential to healthcare delivery, to DeSci, and increasingly more DeFi. So our channel strategy worked. Our channel strategy was a way to test whether our tech, our Web3 infrastructure, really has value to sectors outside of healthcare. And we found that we have massive value. And those channels started to grow. And then we realized that each channel cross-pollinates the other channel. When you bring in people through gaming or through DeFi or through DeSci, they are automatically users of every other application you ever launch. And that utility, that cross-pollination, that network effect gave us the absolute clarity that we should no longer be a healthcare-only company. And that brings us to my key message of the today. We are making a shift from not just healthcare, but everything. And we have the technology and the channels and the partnerships that we have signed that makes us the growth engine for the entire Web3 industry. And over the last 6 months, I have talked to every major crypto project on the planet. Every name that you know on the CMC 20 list, I have talked to them. I have met with them. The team has worked with them. And every one of them has said to us the same thing. You are finally the pathway to real utility and adoption. You are everything that we know we need and that our chain would love to support, but it's the infrastructure we need. It's the infrastructure that we have been trying to build. We just didn't realize you had built it. And the beauty of our infrastructure as a Web3 broad infrastructure is that we can serve B2B use cases to Web2 companies. We can deliver B2C use cases to consumers. We can deliver B2G use cases to governments. And none of them are difficult to convince, because when you show them the capability, when you show them that blockchain is there, but way more than blockchain, you have decentralized compute, decentralized data, and you have completely transparent Web3 peer-to-peer application capability. And you can create the application within days, within hours. And these applications are networked and interoperable. And no, they are not limited to healthcare. You can do anything. Then the aha comes. And once we started to take that message to market, our channel size started to explode. Right now, we are looking at signed channels that represent more than 25 million users, and many more are being added fast. That means that we are on the right track. As part of this strategy, we are going to rebrand Solve.Care. Solve.Care is a beautiful name. I love it. It has meant so much to all of us. It has been the epitome of delivering value, where so many have just talked about delivering value. However, Solve.Care is a brand that represents our healthcare heritage. And if we want to be the Web3 infrastructure for everything, for everyone, in every use case, in every compliance industry, research and finance, and healthcare, and supply chain, and education, and government, then we need to change the name, and we need to change the brand. And we have spent good part of 2024 thinking about, what do we want to do? Do we want to keep our 7 years of investment in the brand, or do we not? And finally, I made the decision a few weeks ago that we are going to rebrand the company completely. We are going to drop the Care platform name. We are going to change it to something that is much more relevant to everyone and not constrained to a care model. And we are going to change the name of the company. Rebranding plan is underway, and it is not trivial. Rebranding Solve.Care is a huge effort. First, there is a new name. We have chosen the name. I won't tell you today, but a new name for the company has been chosen. Domain has been bought. New website is being built. And we will absolutely rebrand the company from Solve.Care to something completely new that represents a new position. Along with that comes a new logo. Along with that comes a new narrative, a new positioning statement, which is take back the internet, own the application, own the data, own the compute, not a bits and pieces of it. Own it all on one infrastructure that lets you build anything you want to build. New partnerships have been signed. New partnerships are being discussed. These are very significant partnerships with very significant players. New channels have been signed. As I mentioned, more than 25 million user channels have already been executed, and many more are coming. And last but not the least, the most important part, new wallet. New wallet that gives us a multi-sector, multi-user experience well beyond a healthcare only. Could you solve healthcare issues with the new wallet? Absolutely. But it's no longer limited to healthcare. And that is the most exciting thing that we are working on, is a completely redesigned wallet application that is not limited to healthcare, but can solve any Web3 solution that we want to bring. This new brand will launch in September. The big reveal is still in September, but that's what you should be expecting. A completely new company with a completely new position statement, with new partnerships, with new channels, with new wallet, with a new name. But at the core of it, the fundamental belief that what we have built is of value to every single person on this planet. Now, what does that mean to you? What it means is that you are now part of a community that represents a complete Web3 infrastructure, where you can talk about and think about and compare us to any Web3 infrastructure out there and see that we can go toe to toe with the biggest and the baddest of the names out there, and we can win. And same is true with Web2. We are putting the big Web2 companies like Salesforce and Oracle on notice that our Web3 infrastructure is a fundamental looking ahead future, and their Web2 technology, much as they have invested billions and made trillions in revenue from it, is the thing of the past. And what we have will ultimately replace what they have. Along with that, you should expect a complete new marketing plan. We have refactored our marketing team. We have developed a completely new plan, which is more consistent with a Web3 infrastructure company. And you will see that launch in September as well. Which also means that you and everybody else can start thinking about use cases within and beyond healthcare. There is no reason to think that our technology, our infrastructure under new brand is limited to healthcare. You can bring and build to the platform, to the infrastructure, any use case. You have an idea, you know of an opportunity, be it in finance or be it in research or be it in government or be it in supply chain or be it in education or be it in nuclear physics and nuclear plant, power plant management, doesn't matter, because we are changing the tech's usability and positioning to every single sector in the market that requires multi-party, peer-to-peer, compliance-based, zero-knowledge capability. More demand. Healthcare is big, it's huge, but it's not the world. Healthcare is 8 trillion, the global economy is 50 trillion. So we can easily step into use cases that are exciting and more accessible and with perhaps less friction. Because in healthcare, there is a lot of friction. There's a lot of compliance and adoption issues. We are not averse to being part of the gaming industry because what we have brings value to gaming payment. I was recently approached by a company that does a lot of online gaming, and they wanted to see if they can use the platform. And absolutely, as we rebrand and reposition and open up our entire technology stack, you will be able to do that. My goal here is to leverage what we have built and put Solve where it belongs, in the CMC 100. There is no reason with the technology and the positioning and the value we bring that we don't belong in the CMC 100. And we belong much higher than 100, but this is where we begin. Now, I want to reiterate, what are we doing? Blockchain is good, but it's not enough. We are the complete Web3 infrastructure company that is focused on user ownership of application data and compute in a single protocol, not spread across and loosely coupled, but a single protocol that gives you control over application, single protocol that gives you control over on-chain and off-chain data, and single protocol that lets you determine where the compute happens and where your data and your applications compute. So you can localize your application data on a localized controlled compute, or you can run it on a mesh, or you can do both. And that three pieces, the triangle of application data and compute, is the actual definition of Web3. And that's where we are. So since we are here and no one else seems to be here quite that far along, let's be the owners of this space as we deserve to be. So in a nutshell, Solve.Care is being rebranded into a Web3 infrastructure company. Everything we have built in healthcare will remain. None of that goes away, be it care trials or be it diabetes care network, be it the non-emergency medical transportation. Those use cases remain. They don't go anywhere. Our channels are now healthcare and much more. We have just signed a government channel recently, which you may have heard about, and many more channels are coming. By redefining the company as a Web3 infra company, we make it easier for people to do business with us. And because our tech is so powerful, we haven't yet met a use case that we cannot deliver, then let's take our rightful place in the top of the Web3 stack. There is a lot more to cover. You probably have a lot of questions. Some of them we will answer in September, but I will give you the opportunity to send those questions in. And I would love for you all to share those questions before Friday. And I will do an AMA for you if we have enough questions by this Friday. And we will keep you informed with more information between now and September. But I want to bring your attention to the fact that Solve.Care is growing up. Solve.Care is now moving into a complete Web3 infrastructure that represents the tech we have built, and the brand will be repositioned. The company will refocus. Our marketing plan has changed, and we are going to expand ourselves to being a Web3 infrastructure for all, B2B, B2C, and B2G. That's what we are working on. That's what you can look forward to in September. And I'm certainly excited about what we are doing, because this is not something we did in a day or a week or a month. I've been thinking and evaluating our options for over a year. And this is absolutely the right thing to do at the right time. A year ago, it would have been too soon, and December will be too late. So we are doing it exactly when I believe the timing is right. I appreciate all of your support and attention over the years, and I know that you have waited patiently to see us do what we are doing here. Many of you have asked me, why are you limited to healthcare? And there were good reasons to be in that space to prove ourselves that the toughest market we can break, but if we can do it in healthcare, we sure as heck can do it in every other sector. So it's time for us to do what we are really built to do. So thank you again. And I want you to join me in congratulating the team and supporting them who are doing an incredible work in transitioning the entire company, the brand, the platform, the website to the new Web3 infrastructure. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And I look forward to speaking to you all on an AMA chat on Friday. Also, to the Korean community and to our non-English speaking communities, we will be distributing the PowerPoint that you see in different languages. And if you wish, you can distribute this PowerPoint and translate and send that in a different language anywhere you want. I want to wrap it up by saying, everyone, this is a journey that needed to evolve to where we are. We took the very hard road of building the healthcare stack first. But as we built it, we really ended up building the complete Web3 infrastructure stack that the world really needs. And I'm very proud to be part of this movement. And I truly believe that we and our children deserve a better future than the Web2 companies can offer us. Thank you very much. Have a great day. We'll be in touch.